Game Week 2 Team Selection. So I've got a few decisions to think about already, but let's get into where my points actually came from. So in goal, Kelleher couldn't have had a worse start to his Brentford career, watching 3 goals sail past him in the first 45 minutes against Forest. He ended up with just a single point. To be fair, there really wasn't much he could have done about any of them. They were all well taken goals from Forest. Still, after that performance, I've got a few concerns about Brentford's defence going forward. On a more positive note, Van der Ven picked up 6 points after a routine clean sheet win over Burnley. Van Dijk managed a massive 20 defensive contributions against Bournemouth, with Liverpool's constant high line helping him bag an extra 2 points. The only worry is just how easily Bournemouth were able to create chances. This new look backline clearly needs some time to settle. Salah grabbed the last minute 4th goal for Liverpool. Some will call it lucky, but this is exactly why picking a captain who stays on the pitch for the full 90 minutes can be so important. Anderson was just 1 contribution away from an extra 2 points, but still returned 6 after picking up an assist. A nicely weighted through ball for Wood to slot in the 3rd. So, my overall score for Game Week 1, 45 points. I finished 9 points below the average, which obviously isn't ideal, but there's no reason to panic. It's a long season, and the game isn't won in the first week. The key takeaway for me is to stay patient. I've got to trust the team that I spent weeks and weeks overthinking before finally settling on. Early ranks don't really matter. The swings are going to be huge week to week. I'm not getting too worked up about where I stand right now. Let's see how Game Week 2 unfolds. So having briefly looked over my team, the only real concern at the moment is João Pedro. He played 72 minutes but honestly had very little impact on the game. That eventually led to Delap coming on, and to be fair, I think Delap did more in his 20 minutes than Pedro did in the entire 72. Now, does that mean Delap starts against West Ham? I don't think so, not yet anyway, but if we see another underwhelming performance from João Pedro, I wouldn't be surprised if Maresca makes the switch. With that in mind, I've already started looking at potential replacements. Mateta is currently where I'm leaning. Now that the Chelsea game is out of the way, Palace have a decent few fixtures coming up. Forest at home, Villa away, and Sunderland at home in the next 3. And while the Villa game shows red on the FDR, it's worth noting that Palace haven't lost to them in their last 5 meetings, winning 4 of those. So it might not be as tough a fixture as it looks on paper. For now, I'll give Pedro 1 more game, but if there's no improvement, I'll have no issue moving him on for Mateta in Game Week 3. I've actually got a bit of a decision to make in defence this week. Do I go with Kelleher and Esteve, or Dubravka and Diouf? With Burnley at home to Sunderland, it's definitely a fixture I want to target. If you caught my Fantasy Focus video earlier this week, you'll know that Burnley rank as the 3rd highest rated team for a clean sheet this game week. So naturally, I want to cover that base. That said, I'm not quite brave enough to double up on them. It's really a question of where I think the higher upside is. So it comes down to Esteve v Diouf, both playing at home. So yeah, I'm going to go with Diouf because I feel like he has more in him than Esteve, and if Burnley do keep a clean sheet, I'm still covered through Dubravka, so I won't miss out entirely. Munoz comes in after already picking up a clean sheet away from home. Last season, they kept 7 away clean sheets in a row. The only other alternative this week is Van der Ven, and he's got Man City away. I don't quite trust the Spurs defence just yet. This will be the biggest test for them. A good showing here, and maybe we can start to say that Frank has got them properly organised, which would make their backline a more trustworthy option in tougher fixtures. In midfield, Bruno had a fairly quiet game but still managed a 0.45 XGI. He was playing a lot deeper, leaving most of the attacking threat to Cunha and Mbeumo, who both look very lively for United, despite the loss. That said, with the pace United now have up top, I can definitely see a few penalties going Bruno's way in the future weeks. Throw in a couple of assists, some bonus points and defensive contributions. He was just 1 away from a bonus in Game Week 1, and I think we're still in a good spot. Also in midfield, I've got Sarr, Palmer and Anderson. Palmer though, was extremely quiet. I don't think Maresca is using him correctly. Palmer plays his best football cutting in from the right, and right now that's just not where he's being played. And if that continues, I might look at switching him out. Saka could be the potential move I go for, but we'll look at that in the future. Up top is Watkins and João Pedro. Both have great fixtures. Watkins has scored a few in the past against Brentford, managed to get 3 assists in one game against them 2 seasons ago. So hopefully he can continue that form this week. As for captaincy, it's between Salah and Palmer. But honestly, Palmer doesn't give me much confidence if we're judging from his last outing. He looked off the pace and wasn't involved in any key areas. So for now, I'm sticking with Salah. He's reliable, stays on the pitch, and always has the potential to deliver, even late in games. I've still got all my chips intact, and this week I'm rolling the transfer. I want another game week to properly assess the squad and see which players are worth keeping long term. Like I mentioned earlier, staying patient is key. There's no need to rush into changes after just one fixture. That wraps it up for this week's thoughts. A few things to monitor, one eye on future moves, but overall I'm happy to stay calm and let the team breathe. Early ranks mean nothing. We play this game over 38 weeks, not one. Let's see how game week 2 unfolds. Good luck to everyone.